It's going down, 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 down. It's going down tonight.
It's a pretty day today, so what better day to start back on the OBS? My last video on the OBS was I painted the wheels, and the one before that, I think I had did this engine bay. I think that was the video. But we finna start back painting. And we're gonna paint the OBS first, the cab. I was gonna paint the bed first, but I'm gonna wait on Southern Chevy TV to come up with some more material, and he'll help me move the bed in the booth so I can pull the cab in the booth by myself once I put the wheels on. But we got all our supplies here, what we're gonna need for starting the wet sanding. I got some 320, all the different brands. This Evercoat, this 3M, and this Gator Grit. But the 320 is Evercoat, 400 is the 3M, and 600. I can use either grit because the base coat it'll cover the 320 scratches, but it might take one more coat. But it's best to use 600. It might take longer to sand. It all depends on what you're trying to sand. But let me show you. I got a little line I need to get out here. It's not no hard line, but I can feel the grit of the flake, the mini flake I put in it. I can feel the grit, so I'm gonna use 400. It'll take care of everything, and I should be able to paint right over it with the base coat. So I'm not gonna worry about the 320 or the 600. I got me some cut in half. I'm just gonna drop 2 sheets in my soap and water. And I use some dish detergent and hot water. I got a rag in here also. I'm just gonna let it soak for about 2 to 3 minutes. And I got 2 soft blocks. This is a rigid block. This is a flex block. I'm just gonna drop both of them in there also. And I also have some Scotch Brite to get around spots like this here. But I should be able to get that with the sandpaper. But just say for instance, spots like this, which the bed gonna be up against, I can hit that with some Scotch Brite and be good up in here. And I gotta do some of the parts like a little bit from inside the jams because the overspray is gonna get in there a little bit. So I'm gonna have to scuff that up so the paint will stick. So we're gonna get started once I let my sandpaper soak. Alright, I got my sandpaper wrapped around my block. I did that off camera because I wasn't gonna be able to do it with one hand. But I got me some sandpaper here, so let's open up this door. Let me show you here. See this line here? I'm just gonna remove all this candy on this outside lip, because sometimes if you don't remove it, you'll be able to see it, even though you might not be able to feel it, but you'll be able to see it. Feel that lip. Not feel it, but see that lip. So I'm just gonna remove most of it, if not all of it. Like now, I can't feel it, but sometimes you'll be able to see it once I paint the base coat and the candy coat and the clear. You'll be able to see that, you know, where that lip was. So I'm gonna keep going a little bit more. I think that should be good right there. I'm gonna do that all the way around what I did when I did the jams, had the little overspray. all the way around. Also right here and here. Then I just wet sand the exterior part. I didn't put no guide coat on. I'm just gonna wet sand it whenever it turn dull. I should be good to go. But you want to go in the X pattern. That should be good on that. But I'll wipe it off and you'll be able to see it. It'll be dull. But I'm gonna move on and keep going. Then I'll cut it back on in the free. This fender here is completely wet sanded with the 400. I found 2 chips, one here. Also is one here. I'll be putting 1 part glazing putty. Since the chips are so minor imperfection, I'll be using this spot putty here. Just like that. That's what I'll be using on those. Also right here, when I was trying to wet sand this hard line, I kind of dipped into it, went up under the sealer and some of the primer. So I might just wipe some here because I can feel this line. Well, I can feel this dip. I'll probably wipe some in here. Get it back flush. This one here is fine. We'll let that dry. Guess I'll go around to the other fender and do it step at a time. Then I'll come back and do this door and so on. Finished up wet sanding with the 400. Sun going down now. I think I'm gonna try to clean it up and put the wheels back on so I can pull it in the booth and it could be drip drying. Then in the morning I can go ahead and start masking it. But everything wet sanded now. Finished cleaning it up. Also brought 2 of the wheels out here, ready to install them. If you want to see when I painted these wheels, just go to the playlist or I have it down in the description. It'll also be popping up. Got some new lug nuts. These here are black. So let me take care of that. I got that one installed. Move on up to the front. Alright, got all 4 wheels on now. Now let's pull it in the booth and get some paint on it. Got the booth cleaned out, ready for the OBS. About to pull in and get started. Got to pull it in. Guess we'll close up shop and finish where we left off in the morning. Just the following morning here, everything is good and dry. Also took a damp rag and wiped my surface where I'm going to be masking at. Make sure the masking tape stick well. But I'm good to go ahead and start masking. I got my stuff up here that I'm gonna be using. Just got some plastic masking paper and some tape. I'm gonna make sure I mask this engine bay off real well because I don't want no overspray getting back on the part that I done painted. So I think I'm gonna tackle this first. Just try to seal it because that overspray, it gets everywhere. Even areas you think that it might not get, but it do. So I'm gonna make sure I get this covered real well. To do a little tip break and show you, I start messing around this molding on the sunroof. I don't know if you're gonna be able to tell, but right at the bottom, you don't want to mask. You don't want the tape touching the surface, because if you do, it'll bridge, and then when you get ready to unmask, you'll appear to clear up. So you want to have a somewhat of a little gap. You can see the black molding. That's gonna give me enough room so when I do lay the clear, it won't bridge. And then you don't want too big of a gap because you'll have color on the molding. It's just a little tip. Let me finish on up.
Until you came and brought the sunshine, I was afraid. You make my life seem brighter.
I believe I got this front sealed up pretty good. I use plastic, also masking paper. The reason why I put masking paper right here, because I didn't want the air blowing the plastic, brushing it up against the freshly painted surface. Same way with up here. I also mask. Let me shut the hood and I can show you more. It's like around here, I masked this cowl section, so I won't get no overspray on that part that I already had painted. I gotta mask this here off once I shed it. Yeah, I think this should be good. I'll go ahead and shed it, and then I'll be good to go up front. I got the window back mask. I put the masking tape on the back side of the window so I can get a clean line up here instead of taping on the front, which the molding gonna be right here, but I like to do it on the back side anyway to keep from the paint chipping or peeling. Now I fill it in with some masking paper. Fill it on in. Now I do the jams. I just about got it as far as this door jam here. Let me show you what I got. I had stuck some masking paper up in here, so when I spray this exterior part, that overspray don't get up in there and get on the jams that I had already painted. And on this bottom part, I had already painted this area here, so I masked that up, as you can see. I'm just trying to keep that overspray from blowing back in here, messing up what I had already painted. But I pretty much got this door here done. Got to finish up the other side. I masked this here off, keep it from getting on the glass. Take you around here. I started on this door. I just got to finish up right here, in that bottom part and this part here. then I think I'd be good to go. I just got to put some plastic over this back part and somewhat mask this off so the plastic won't be flapping up against the back when I start spraying it. Got this back done up. I put some tire covers over the wheels because even though I'm not going to be spraying back here, but the overspray, it'll find its way back here and get on the wheels, and I just painted them. I hate to get overspray on them. But you see I got some paper down up in here. Because if I just would have put plastic, it would have been flapping up from the air. So that should be good back here. And I also took the front wheels off. So I ain't got to worry about getting no overspray on them. And also I can get this lip a lot easier without the wheels being on it. I'm going to back mask this and put some paper right here. So I ain't got to worry about blowing no air up in here and dirt and dust start flying everywhere. Wheel mask off. Once I do this other side, I should be good to go. As far as getting ready to spray in the base coat. But I'm going to spray that in the morning because there's a lot of moisture and condensation out here. It had rain last night and it's just moisture everywhere. When I first came out here this morning, it was all on the surface of the vehicle, so I had to wait in order to start masking. But I'm going to take care of this one here and clean up a little bit. Then we'll finish where we left off in the morning. Just wanted to show you what guns and what material I be using, because a lot of folks be asking me what type guns I'm using. I'm going to be using my Jet 5000B HVLP digital. I'm going to spray my base and my candy with it. And I'm going to spray my clear with my WS400 Outwater Supernova. Both of them got a 1.3 tip. I had just cleaned them up. Decided to go ahead and clean them up tonight. Then in the morning I'll be good to go. Start spraying. And the base I'll be using is a Stellar Silver by Uricam. And the candy color is Apple Red. And the Glamour Clear. And on my Jet 500, well not 500, 5000B, I'm going to be using my Saturn RPS cups. I'm going to use this one for my base and my candy. I had wet the floor down. I also went back and dry tacked the truck with a dry tack cloth. Now I'm just stirring up the base coat. It's a custom mix. It's a .006 micro flake in it. So I will be flow coating this here like I did on all the other pieces I had painted, because it's going to leave a texture. There's 3 coats of the base with the micro flake. Got texture in it, but I'm gonna be sanding it back down with 600 once I spray about 3 coats of clear on it and flow coat it, get it back smooth. It's been about, I guess about 30 minutes after I sprayed the last coat. So I'm ready for the candy now. 3 coats of the candy, apple red. Now you can see the texture a lot better with the candy on it. But I ain't gonna worry about that because you know we're gonna take care of that with the flow coat. Which the clear, it should cover up a lot of it. Take you around to this side here. See it? All the micro flake. Alright, let me mix this clear up. Then we'll cut you back on. 3 coats of clear. I still got texture. The 3 coats didn't bury the micro flake, as you can see. But I'm gonna let this dry overnight, then come back out here tomorrow and wet sand with 600. Try to get it back down smooth. It's a lot of texture right here. I guess that's where that micro flake just blew up against that and just set. And this side also. Can't really see it. I tried to put a lot more clear right there. It looks like it's trying to run because I put 4 coats right here. But I wet sand that out. About 24 hours since I got through painting it. It's been sitting out here in the booth. I had a little heater going, radiator heater, all night, trying to cure it on up before I start wet sanding it and flow coating it. You can see the texture. Got it knocked down. Let me show you what I'm going to be using. Well, let me walk around the truck before I show you what I'm going to be using. But everything turned out good. Especially if I didn't have to flow coat it. So it's going to be about 6 or 7 coats of clear on this here when all said and done. Okay, let me show you what I'm going to use. I got some 600 grit wet sandpaper. I already cut a piece in half. I got some soapy water and a rag here. I'm just going to drop these 2 pieces in here, let it sit for a couple of minutes. Then I got 2 soft blocks. This is a rigid block, this is a flex. I'm just going to put these in there also. I'm going to let that paper soften up, then I start blocking it, knocking it down, and once it softens up, I'll cut it back on and show you what you need to be looking for. Okay, we'll start right here with the light flashing so I can show you a lot better. I got my block, I got my sandpaper wrapped around it. You just want to go in the X pattern like you're doing everything else, like when you wet sanding or blocking. And you're going to know when you got it down pretty much flat because the surface is going to turn dull. Like right now I could see. Let me take this block here, try to dry it off. I'm going to let it dry, then I cut it back on, I'll show you more. Now this is what you need to be looking for. Now you can see the orange peel here, right here, it's flat. But you want to be real careful, especially with dealing with flakes, because flakes and candy. Because if you go too far, you're going to knock that color off that flake, and then wherever you knock it off, you're going to see just a silver flake, or whatever color your flake might be. But you want to be real careful. But I got 3 coats of clear on here, so I should be fine on the areas. But you'll be able to tell as far as like if your flake covered up real good, because it'll be more grittier. It'll be like right here, especially on the other side. I could feel the flake a lot more because I guess this is where the flake just stood up right here. So I got to be careful right here, because if I don't, I'll knock that color off that flake and then it'll just be a little silver spot. But this is what you're looking for here, which I can just leave it like this here, because the next coat of clear, it'll cover up them little orange, you know that orange peel there, it should cover that up. But I'm gonna knock it down some more because I got 3 coats on here, so I should be good to go. Let me knock it down some more. I'll take my rag, wipe it, and let it dry. Then we'll see what we're working with. Alright, knock this down. This is good and flat right here. Ain't no orange peel. You still see a little bit right here. But I'm going to bring this down some more. You just want to take your time. You don't want to try to rush it because you don't want to cut through. Like I said, I got 3 coats of clear, so I'm pretty much safe with this 600. And I started doing it, this part here. Still got to wipe it and see what I'm working with. Then I know how much more I got to go down. Like right here. You know I got to bring that down some more. Just take your time. That's all you got to do. You'll be alright. I pretty much got both of these panels on the flat areas here done. There's a few more spots that I could hit, but it's not no big deal because the next coats are clear. It'll fill in all them little imperfections there, them little cradles. This in here pretty much smooth, so right here, right there, also there. But it's good to go though. I'm working on the other side now. Then I'll jump back over here. Probably do this part. After that I'll do this middle section. Just break it down in sections. Don't want to get overwhelmed with it. Just take your time, like I said. All the sanding with the 600 grit is done. At first I wasn't going to be too concerned about this back because it's going to be covered up by the bed. But I had went on and sanded and knocked it down. Also, once I do get through flow coating it, I will be cutting and buffing it. So it should be good and smooth by the time I get done with it. But I'm going to wait about a week to cut and buff it. Maybe 2 weeks because I got to paint the bed. So it'll be about 2 more weeks. Because I'm going to let the bed sit in here about a week also. So then I put the bed on and cut and buff. All of that at one time. Now I get me some fresh water and just wipe everything down. Then I wait till in the morning and do the flow coat. Ready for the flow coat now. Start wetting the floor back down. Also remasked this back here because there was a lot of micro metallic flake just landed on the plastic, so I didn't want the draft to come through and blow that micro flake back up in my clear. I'll put 3 more coats on, then I'll be good to go. Let it sit in here for a while and pull it out. It's 3 coats of clear. That'll be 6 total with the flow coat and all. The paint guy wasn't good to me this morning. I had problem after problem. Everything that can go wrong went wrong. You see I got a run here. I got some on this side also. Got one here, a couple of them back here. What happened, I usually clean my gun out and break it down after every use, but I didn't do it this time. I had just ran some lacquer thinner through it, and I had some lacquer thinner sitting in the cup, and somehow some of the clear had crystallized in my nozzle tip, and it had made my fan pattern thicker at the top than at the bottom, so I put more clear in one area than the other. So that messed me up right there. But I kept on going and went all the way around the truck one time. Then I pulled my clear out and broke the gun apart and cleaned it out. But after I did that, I had another problem. Somehow when I was cleaning it, I had messed up my fan pattern, and I had narrowed it, and when I sprayed this here, I put too much clear here, and I got some sags going from here all the way to the top. I don't know if you'll see it. I usually shoot my test pattern here, but I didn't. I just went straight to spraying. But I should have known better. Just sometimes you get in a rush and you just do stuff different, which I should have just done what I supposed to have done. I wouldn't have had that problem. But it's just clear, so I'm gonna be cutting and buffing it anyway, so I'll be good to go eventually. About a week, no, 2 weeks like I said, because I gotta paint the bed. I cut and buff it, and I get all them runs out. But everything else, if I wouldn't have had them two problems there, everything would have been fine. After I got it situated, it laid down pretty good. Just gonna walk you around the truck.
Nobody really gave a damn about us. We never stopped.